All right, let's talk about a technology that is just completely changing our world, and it's happening so fast. Generative AI. You've probably heard the term thrown around a lot, but today we're going to dive in and really break down what it is, how it works, and honestly, why it's such a big deal right now.
So let's just jump right in with a question. Really think about it. Could a machine, just a piece of software, actually create the vision for a brand new company from scratch?
Well, it turns out the answer is a huge, resounding yes. See this mission statement right here? An AI wrote it. The whole thing. That's not some far-off future prediction. That is happening today. And it's a perfect example of just how powerful this tech already is. Okay, so how in the world is that even possible? To really get our heads around that, we first need a super simple, clear definition of what we're actually talking about here.
At its very core, generative AI is a creator. It basically studies a gigantic library of existing stuff. We're talking text, images, music, you name it. And then it uses everything it's learned to make something totally new, something original. And this is the key part. It isn't just copying and pasting. It's genuinely inventing, like composing a brand new song in the style of your favorite band or creating a stunningly realistic image just from a few words you type.
But this, right here, is the real game changer. For years, AI was mostly about analyzing data, right? Making predictions. Is this a picture of a cat or a dog? Is this email spam or not? But generative AI, it's playing a whole different sport. Its main job is to invent, to generate, to bring something new into the world that wasn't there before. So, how does it actually pull that off? Let's take a quick peek under the hood. Now don't worry, we are not going to get buried in complicated code or anything like that. We're just going to cover the big ideas that make all this magic happen.
Okay, so the magic really comes down to a few key pieces of tech working together. First up, you've got neural networks. Just think of them like a digital brain. Then deep learning lets those networks find these incredibly complex patterns in all the data. Next are large language models, LLMs. These are the absolute rock stars when it comes to text, and they're the engine behind that business plan we saw. And then you have things like diffusion models and GANs, which are powerhouses for creating visuals. We're going to talk a little more about GANs in just a sec.
Now this is where things get really cool. The idea behind GANs is fascinating. Just imagine two AIs locked in a constant competition. You've got one, the artist, that's trying to create a super realistic image. And then you have the other one, the critic, whose only job is to figure out if that image is real or a fake. This back and forth forces the artist to get better and better until its creations are so good they're basically indistinguishable from reality. It's just a brilliant system for getting amazing results.
So we've kind of peeked under the hood. Now for the really fun part. What can this stuff actually create? Because this is where you really see that creative explosion happen firsthand.
Let's start with text. And believe me, it goes way beyond that little business plan from the beginning. We're talking about drafting your emails, summarizing massive reports. It can even write computer code. Companies are already all over this, using it for things like customer service chatbots that give you helpful answers instantly, any time of day.
So text is one thing, but what about images? How does an AI go from a sentence to a picture? Well, it might look like magic, but the process is actually pretty wild. You just give it a simple text description, something like a modern office in Lagos. The AI then starts with what looks like pure TV static, just random noise. And then, little by little, it refines that noise, shaping it into a clear, detailed picture emerges. It's almost like a sculptor finding a statue inside a block of marble.
And the creativity doesn't stop there. Not even close. AI can now compose original background music for videos, generate incredibly realistic voiceovers, and even create talking avatars for presentations. It's helping developers write and fix code, and it's even creating synthetic, fake data so companies can test new software safely without using anyone's real information. The scope is it's huge.
So this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it's not just a bunch of cool experiments happening in a lab. Let's look at where this is all popping up in the real world, because this tech is already making a huge impact across some major industries. And this chart just shows you how widespread it already is. Look at this. It's being used in business and marketing to whip up new ad ideas. In healthcare, it's helping to speed up the discovery of new medicines. In education, it's creating personalized lesson plans for students. From the movies you watch to the apps on your phone, generative AI is quickly becoming a core tool.
Okay, but we have to be real here. With any technology this powerful, there's another side to the story. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. we've got to talk about the risks and why using this stuff responsibly is so important.
These right here are the big hurdles we're all trying to figure out. If the data an AI learns from is biased, well, its creations can be biased too. It can be used to create misinformation. There are some really complicated questions about who owns AI art. And of course, there are security risks with things like deepfakes. Now, the good news is a lot of smart people are working on these problems, but it's something we all need to be aware of.
And that's exactly why this point is so critical. At the end of the day, this technology is a tool, a ridiculously powerful tool for sure, but it is not a replacement for human judgment. We have to be the ones in the driver's seat, making the final call. So, after all of that, what's the big picture? How should we really think about generative AI as it becomes a bigger part of our lives? Well, maybe the best way is to see it as a new kind of partner. Because when you use it right, the benefits are just massive. Yeah, it can boost productivity and cut costs, but the really exciting part is how it can enhance our own creativity. Think of it like a co-pilot for your brain. An artist can use it to dream up dozens of new concepts in minutes. A writer can use it to break through writer's block. It lets us create and test out ideas on a scale we just couldn't before.
So as you start playing around with these tools, and you probably will, just keep these simple things in mind. First, always verify what it tells you. It can make mistakes. Second, use it respectfully and ethically. And third, and this is the big one, combine its output with your brain, your judgment, your expertise. It's a partnership.
And that really brings us to our final thought. As this AI gets better and better at doing creative work, it kind of forces us to ask ourselves, what's our role in all of this?